Well, fading away in the background, beautiful sound, one of my favorite tracks around at the moment. It's a guy by the name of Lamont Dozier Jr. Had the great pleasure of interviewing him over the weekend and played that out on a radio show in the last few days. Let me wish you a very, very good evening, a very warm welcome to the next player announcement for the B. Braun Sheffield Sharks. It's happening right here in the next few minutes. Well, we're seeming to have some technical problems. Not absolutely sure why. We have no visual, but I'm told the audio is on. So let's go with audio. The important person is there. We know that. So he won't see me, but I'll see him and you'll be able to see him at home. I think you know what I look like anyway. Let's do that and let's get to this presentation now. This guy will be entering his 4th season with the Sharks. I put something on Facebook before saying he's one of my favorite players, and I didn't put that there as a joke. It is absolutely true. Can we announce now the next player, which is player number 4, if I've got that correct, for the Sharks this season? It is the legend that is Rob Marsden. Rob, a very, very, very good evening to you.
How we doing?
I can't hear you. Is your mic on?
Yeah, it's on.
Great. Excellent. Now, Rob, I do apologize that we haven't got the video. I don't know what's going on, but it's not there. And I've tried to leave and come back. Let me see if I press start video here again, if it's going to make a difference. No, we just get the white screen. Don't know why that is.
No,
anyway,
the white screen.
The important person is on the screen, okay? And that's you. Now, tell me a little bit about your history, please.
My history, I guess, I started playing basketball when I was around 14, and in Doncaster, that's where I'm from. And I started playing under the coaching of Bob Martin, who is obviously a legend around our area, probably a legend in the country.
Well, he started out in Manchester, so let's get that right.
What?
He started out in Manchester. That's where he came in.
Started in Manchester, and from there I went, playing pretty much all over the country. I used to go on summer visits and whatnot with Bob to the United States, where he did his shooting clinics, and from there, I ended up getting into a Division II school in Findlay, Ohio, which I spent 4 seasons there. I got my degree, and then I came home and I started playing for Leeds in Division I for Matt Newby. I think I learned a lot from Matt there. Had a good season, and then from there, Jeff Jones gave me the opportunity to step up to the BBL level. I had a season in Manchester, which was a huge season for me. I feel like I learned a lot. I was with a lot of experienced guys. And then after that, I had a season in France. Went okay. Not the best. Then I came home, played a few seasons again with Leeds and Matt Newby in the BBL. And then from there came to Sheffield and been here since. So,
well, I have to tell you,
yeah.
When you came back to Matt Newby, I was commentating at Leeds in those days, and we had an awesome team. And of all the players there, I thought to myself, this guy's got something. I'm not making this up. And I think it was after the first season where I was there, I says to Sarah, because I was doing the Sharks, you need to take a look at this guy, Rob Marsden. He's awesome. Nothing happened. We didn't get you, we didn't sign you up, but then eventually we did. What was it like joining the Sharks?
Obviously, I'd grown up around Sheffield basketball, from Doncaster, literally 20 minutes down the road. So I've always known about Sheffield Sharks, and it's always ultimately been my goal. You did say about that moment where I did have a chance to sign for Sheffield, and Atiba, sometimes me and Atiba laugh about it, that I never signed back then, because we did have a conversation. But yeah, I think it's probably one of the the best moments of my career, because it's pretty much my home hometown team. So yeah, it was it kind of made my career, topped it off nice, and hopefully I can carry on playing for as long as possible.
Was there a Premier League team in Doncaster? Because there used to be, because I used to do those games at the arena there.
Yeah, I think in the 90s, before I was playing, there was a Doncaster Panthers in the BBL.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that's where, I don't know if Bob played for, or Bob was affiliated. That's why he ended up in Doncaster, I believe. I could be wrong. And they played out of the Doncaster Dome, but I don't really know what happened. But since then, obviously, there's not been much basketball, and then Bob pretty much brought basketball back to Doncaster, as far as I'm concerned.
And he's doing a great job there, isn't he? Really is.
Yeah, and obviously there's a division. Well, there was Division 3, this Division 2 next year. So it's promising stuff in Doncaster, and I think they should have a big year in D2.
Now, I mentioned that this is your 4th season coming up now.
Yeah, 4th season.
What's it been like there, playing with the guys you've had over the years?
In the 4 seasons, I think it's been great. Obviously, we've had Chris, who's been a big driving force for a couple of years, and Dirk, and then Mackie, and we've had a lot of, and obviously I was about to say Mike, obviously 12, 13 seasons, whatever it is. But yeah,
he's been there a while.
I think really, and obviously playing under Atiba, I think it's really brought, hammered home that the professional attitude those guys have, Atiba has, the whole, organisation has. I think I've learned a lot, and hopefully I'll carry on learning, I guess. I'm 31, but still want to learn.
And for somebody who doesn't know, tell us about your game, please.
I would say I like to, obviously I want to work hard and pretty much work as hard as I can. Do anything,
you like
really.
To mix it, is that the saying?
Say that again. Yeah, if I can score a few, I'll score a few. If I can rebound, I can rebound. Even if I could stop my guy defensively, I'll pretty much do whatever, as long as I'm, contributing in some way, whether or not that's rebounding, defending, scoring if I need to score, just pretty much doing anything, and doing it with a bit of energy and a bit of, hard work, I guess.
Yeah, you got a nice average, 10 points, 5, just under 6 rebounds a game, and you had a 20-point game against Manchester, of all people, last season.
Yeah, I guess. The averages pretty much reflect what I'm saying. I'll get rebounds. I'll pass the ball. I'll score when I need to. And obviously Manchester probably was one of those nights this year. And yeah, I'll do.
And was there any kind of motivation going back to Manchester to perform like top?
There's not, whether or not I want to accept it or not, there's always a bit of added motivation. You want to play well against your old teams, whether or not that would have been Leeds in the previous years or Manchester. You always want to do, even if it's subconsciously, you want to do well against your old teams. So yeah, like this season, Matt Newby's not my old team, but I wanted to play well against Worcester. So
yeah. And I mean, it has to be said, he's done a great job down there, hasn't he, Matt?
Oh yeah, great first season for him. Obviously, was it the cup they won?
Yeah, BBL Cup.
Yeah, so BBL Cup winners. I mean, he's done what he needs to do in his first season, I think. Yeah, so hopefully he has a long run at it.
Let me ask you what could be a difficult question. Obviously, you were born in Doncaster.
Yep.
Yeah. How do you get in and perform when you've got all these Americans around you who are superstars of our game?
I don't know, really. Obviously, I've just got to remain confident, and usually I put it down to just trying to work as hard as I can, whether or not that's practice or a game, and then hopefully, well, as it has happened, it's I've got results, and Atiba obviously sees something in me trying to do what I can when I can for the team, whether it be scoring, rebounding, and I think that's how I've always been. Just do my bit and try and do it to the best of my ability and work as hard as I can, and that's the only way I can go at it, really. So
now I've asked all the guys this next question. What was it like when the shutdown happened? What do you remember of that?
It was bizarre. It was a very bizarre situation. I remember having a conversation a few days before. I think even we played Worcester on the Friday night. I had a conversation with Atiba. I think it was after a practice, talking about something to do with FIBA, and I was just thinking, no, it can't happen. You know, like from a financial, every kind of standpoint, I'm like, it's not going to happen. You know, they're not going to do all this lockdown stuff. But sure as hell, it happened, and then you're looking back after the Friday night game, thinking, that's it. That's the end of the season. It's over. And I think now I'm starting to, you know, usually it would be in the middle of the summer, but right now I'm already thinking, you know, I'm really looking forward to next season because our break's been so long. So roll on next
nobody knows when we're going to restart.
No.
You know, there's all kinds of talk about you can have crowds on this date, you can open without crowds on that date. Nobody knows, do they?
No. It's a bit frustrating from that perspective, but it is what it is, and we've got to. I'm obviously trying to get back in shape and.
Well, I was going to ask you about that. Have you been working out? How have you done that?
I've been doing the odd bit. I haven't played much basketball, if I'm honest. It's hard to play. There's obviously no leisure centres. There's the outdoor course, but the one near me's had signs plastered all over it, obviously for a long time, saying don't use this equipment, from the council. So I've kind of adhered to all that. So I've been doing a bit of running, obviously doing what I can, press ups. But other than that, I guess now the time is it's Saturday. The gyms and whatnot are supposed to open, so I've got a good opportunity. And like you say, we don't know when the season's going to start, so I better get going now. Yeah.
Now, you're the fourth guy we've announced. First was Mike Tuck, and we had some technical difficulties there. Mackie McKnight was next, then Nicholas Lewis, and you're Rob Marsden. Big question. Are you going to call Nick Lewis Nicholas? That's the big discussion point.
I'll have to come up with some nickname for him. I don't know if Nicholas rolls off the tongue that well.
Well, I've told him, I can't call him Nicholas. I don't. If I said that, nobody would know I'm talking about. Lester, are you excited for the coming season? Do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I think obviously I think Atiba's got some more signings brewing and whatnot. I think it's going to be if everything comes to fruition and we get started and everything's good to go. I think it's going to be a great season in Sheffield.
And I ask all the players this question to round off. Say a word about the fans in Sheffield, please.
Amazing. Obviously, they show up most games. Fill the Ponds Forge. So yeah, without them, we'd be struggling. So they really help us out.
Well, Rob Marsden, it's an absolute joy to have you back at the Sharks. From those days at Leeds that you're one of my favorite players around because, like Mike Tuck, I don't know how much you learned from him, but you don't hide, you get the job done. When the coach takes you out, you don't make a fuss. When he puts you back in, you just get back and do what you got to do. It's an absolute joy to commentate on your game, except for that time you poked yourself in the eye. I still can't work out how you did that. Why would you do that?
I don't know. I don't even know physically how it happened.
Rob, thank you very much indeed for taking the time to do this. And whenever the game restarts, man, I can't wait to see you back on the court.
Thanks, Mike, and thanks to Sheffield. Thanks for the fans, and hope to see you in a few months.
All the very best, sir. Thank you very much indeed. And I'm going to sign off right here so that when he disappears, my audio will go out as well, because there's no point in me just talking from a blank screen. So thank you very much indeed for joining us for this broadcast, announcing player number 4, Rob Marsden. We'll hopefully see you next week, and hopefully we might not have any technical problems. Thanks a lot. All the best.